And hi everybody, this is Julian from BD Cosmos, and this is our second video for this month, are the May 2021 solicitations from Diamond and DC, and we're talking about July books. But this video being a little different, we're not talking about books to read so much as books to spec on. So I'm with my friend PF.
Hey, everybody.
And PF has been a renewed subscriber to comic books, and we've been having fun discussing about books that may have some value over time. And I do it. We both sort of do it as a hobby, but I do it for the store. It also helps me to order extra books when a book becomes hot in the end, and people are like, "I would like to read this." So we've each got 5 books that each would like to discuss, and hopefully through this, you guys would be at least interested to pick some up for yourselves, either to read them because the story seems interesting and might go somewhere, or just because you also would like to speculate them. And so I'll also show you guys how to then special order specific titles and specific books through Managed Comics. All right, so the very first title I'm excited about that I think may have potential is Avengers 46. I'm typing it in. So from Marvel Comics, we've got Avengers 46, and these are the 2 different covers that are available. So Avengers 46, the main cover. Why I'm interested about doing this, talking about this. So we're right now in Heroes Reborn. We're on issue 3, just came out. Avengers 46 begins right after the end of Heroes Return, which is the final issue of Heroes Reborn. And it's also ends. It begins right where Avengers 44 ended with the new Phoenix Enter the Phoenix story arc. And so I believe a lot of people will be under ordering Avengers 46 simply because they've forgotten to place their orders properly. So some stores may have lowered their count, maybe some burn from customers who are no longer interested because of Hero Was Born, wherever that may go. And also, the important thing that they're doing in this particular issue is World War She-Hulk. So it's a play on the original World War Hulk. But this one, instead of being the Hulk fighting the planet, it's the planet fighting She-Hulk, and has to do with what happens in the end of Avengers 44, where and this is the Winter Guard that we see here, the Winter Guard, or the super team from Russia. And we should be able to see this is a new character. This is the Red Widow from the Red Room, and she's been introduced throughout the series, but we do not know her true origins. So it's entirely possible that we will see this in this issue, who it is, or maybe through the arc. But I believe Avengers 46 has potential.
Yeah, and like you said, coming with the She-Hulk angle, since they've announced that a series is going to be coming out with the She-Hulk, everything about her, like comic books, appearances, stuff like that, it's picked up in value, it's picked up steam. So it wouldn't surprise me if something that happens with, a comic book that features, especially like an Avengers book that features She-Hulk as the main protagonist, it could pick up some steam, could pick up a couple bucks here and there, could spike up in value like the day it kind of gets out.
That's cool. So what's your first pick?
My first pick is actually a book that you talked about to sub to. I'm going to go with Skybound X, which I'm going to let you type it in.
All right, Skybound X is on the screen.
Good. So Skybound X, like Julien talked about last week, really like stories about what's happening with Skybound in general. The comic books that they have out. It's 5 books, 5 weeks. Main story is basically Rick Grimes fighting against ghouls or zombies, whatever you want to call them. The interesting part is that every book will have a mini story inside. Why I chose Skybound X #1 is because the story is going to be about Clementine. Now, if you remember Clementine, a fan favorite from the Telltale game, cover D has her on it specifically, so I'm going to be picking up some A covers and some D covers, a couple of each, just that if people go nuts about Clementine, like we've seen in the past with The Walking Dead, with various covers when they have like appearances of new characters, like those comic books have spiked up. So yeah, Clementine in Skybound X 1, really interesting. Could have the potential to blow up.
So I put up Skybound X, the cover. It's a Charlie Adler cover, so Charlie Adler is the original artist for The Walking Dead. And yeah, this is Clementine's first comic book appearance. It's also her first cover. She's also on the C cover, but you only see her from the side, whereas on the D you see her from the front. So there's a better chance of the D cover having long-term value. Then again, maybe the C cover will be less ordered. I have really no idea. Maybe stores will order more of the C. I prefer the D cover. Again, Charlie Adler being who does it. But yeah, Skybound X, entirely possible just because they're introducing so many new characters as a first comic book appearance, even though they've been in other media. I subscribe to the book, and it's entirely possible. I'm entirely hopeful that this is it's gonna make some money. So my next pick is what was it again? I'm sorry.
Stay with The Walking Dead Deluxe 19.
Oh yes, Walking Dead Deluxe. So Walking Dead 19 in particular is the first, the original first appearance of Michonne. So we've got her return in full color, and so they're making a ton of covers for it. The B cover, which is the ones I've been collecting, the more color, are the original covers from the original series. So this is the new A's that they've been doing for the series, and the B covers are for the original covers, and they're just they're recolored on the front. So the A, which is a Finch cover, and the B is the Moore. There's an E, there's an Adler cover here. I believe there's even a Liefeld cover, the cover F here. And so they're making a ton of covers for the Return of Michonne in the comic book series. So this is there's going to be demand for it. There's for sure not going to have the value of the original black and white printing, but to miss out on a chance of getting a new first printing of the first appearance of Michonne would be a mistake. And so I'm getting them for my own run anyways, but I'm definitely getting extra copies of the first appearance of Michonne. I've had people ask for which comic books to pick up from The Walking Dead, and if they want just one specific issues. Number 19 is the first one to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, the character has been through the entire series in the comic books. It's one of the fan favorites, like top 3, like characters that the fans have, wanted all the entire series. I cannot see this being a bad investment in the long run.
So what do you got for me next?
Next one's going to be something blast from the past. Everything from the 80s, early 90s is very, back in the news right now. And I'm just going to say Master of the Universe, the old He-Man. There's a Netflix series coming up, and this is actually a prequel to the Netflix series. So anything picked up by Netflix usually spikes up in value. He-Man has been an icon for so many people from my generation and yours. Well, I mean, we're basically the same age. So Masters of the Universe, I'm just gonna read it. I'm subbing to it, but I'm picking a couple of issues, ones extras, just because the potential is there to have a real spike in interest.
I remember the previous Master Universe series that we had in 2019. This was again, so this technically is a Warner Media product, but I don't know why Dark Horse has it. It may have to do with their Netflix deal. That a lot of Dark Horse products think of Umbrella Academy go to Netflix first, so it may be a reverse deal that they have right now. or maybe it's a Kevin Smith deal that he has with Dark Horse. No matter what, I remember that series a couple years ago. It did not sell well, and but certain issues. There are people always collecting, and they're looking for those copies of the Master Universe. So this particular prequel to a hopefully hot new TV show is gonna on Netflix. People will, instead of specific collectors, you'll have new parents and kids who will come and ask you for it, and so that and they will pick them up for their kids, and whatever that price is on the market, they will be paying for it. So it's entirely possible that the book will not be the print one will be moderate, but it should have been high instead, so that may command a larger price on the book.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember exactly. I think the entire media, like with Netflix and everything, the entire medium, parents are going to be looking at it with their kids, and they're going to say, "Hey, this is my childhood. Let's go pick up a comic book just to see where it's been, where it's at." So yeah, it's really interesting.
That's good. So my next book, we was flipping through tabs and we made a small mistake, so I'll move this one further. So it's Legends of the Dark Knight. It's issue 3. Why 3? We've got a new character called Quiz, who we see in the title here, and this is the character herself. She's a play on the Riddler. An original Quiz character already existed back in the 80s. This is not the same person. It's using the same name. That old character hasn't been used in forever. So this is a new Quiz, and this is her first appearance both in the book and in the story, in her cover. So again, I've been very high on Legend of the Dark Knight. We have just number 1 just came out. Number 3 is going to be an important issue. I don't know if this is the particular character that Batman ends up hunting, as we've seen from issue 1. I honestly haven't read it that far into the series, obviously, to know, but it is my hope that Quiz ends up being a new recurring character, much like other new characters have appeared recently, and that this book may spike in value just because of that.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, every first appearance, like in a Batman series or so, like a huge character, Superman, you got Spider-Man, stuff like that. Like they usually, have interest in them, especially a series like Legends of the Dark Knight. Not one of the main titles. Like if we remember with Punchline, her first appearance was like in Hell Arisen, which is a book that was really underordered. So, and that character just blew up, and everybody was looking for that book. So, I mean, when you're looking to speculate on a book to make money, you have to take chances. You have to remember what happened in the past. You have to remember the mistakes that people made in the past. This could be a new character in a series, probably a series that not a lot of people are going to pick up. A third book in a series. So usually when a series comes out, number 1, people try it out. You have a bigger demand for it. Number 2, usually have the orders in because some people subbed, some people skipped, and then issue 3, you're like at 25% of like the first issue. So the potential is there just to make a huge ton of money if the character becomes interesting.
And DC are making the incentive, the 125 cover, one of those Federici covers that they've been doing since Infinite Frontier, and so that's her cover on top. So some people like collecting them, but I would pick up just the A cover. She's just right there. That's perfect book to pick up. So what is your next book, sir?
Next book, I'm going with a small book, nothing really big, but that has a huge potential, and a little book that I like. Kanto, third series, Lionheart. Kanto from the start has been a fan favorite. Not a really big popular book, but it has strong fan base, and there's some steam behind it. It's been picked up for an adaptation on the either the big screen or the small screen. It's not yet. They don't really know yet, but the company behind it is the company owned by Will Smith and his now ex-wife Jada Pinkett. So I mean, it has some steam behind it. The first series of Kanto is just huge in the secondary market. I mean, the first issue is upwards of 1,200 if it's slabbed. So yeah, I mean, they're on the third series. The third series is going to start with this initial order. They're on the 2.5, which bridges series 2 and series 3. I mean, just a cool story about a guy just doing the right thing and trying to help somebody from his race. So yeah, I can't see this being a bad pick.
I definitely made that mistake with the 2.5 series. I didn't order it because there's just been no demand for it, and that this particular first issue did spike up in value. So we may see the same thing happen with this third series.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's all speculations, but yeah, as soon as something has a movie deal or an adaptation behind it, I mean, it can't be a bad pick.
My next one is Moon Knight. There's a new series beginning. I didn't put in the titles to subscribe to, even though there's a good portion of the reader base should probably subscribe to it. But the reason that it's not one particular the main cover I'm looking at, it is actually the John Romita Jr. cover here. That is his this either is or will be in the month his first returned cover from his return from DC. So his exclusivity contract with DC ended, and now he's returned to Marvel. So July is his first book. I don't know if July 21st will be the first cover he does. But being who he is, it is entirely possible that just the demand, even though the McNiven cover is fantastic, this is a great cover, the demand for the Romita cover may spike it. Now, they have shown the 1-200 cover, which is supposed to be the virgin version of this book. So here it is, the virgin version, but there's the trade dress. So I think there might be a mistake, but this is clearly John Romita Jr.'s art style. So my belief is that this is actually the regular cover, and this Moon Knight part in Marvel at the bottom should be removed. So they're obviously Marvel is high on Romita's being returned because the virgin variant of that same title is the 1-200 copies. And unless a customer is ordering 200 copies, I'm not ordering 200 copies. I'm ordering a bunch for the store because I do believe in the possibility of the character. I think the return of Moon Knight, he was very hot. There was before the arc before the Phoenix Force one, the Return of the Phoenix had to do with the Khonshu, which he's a member of, if I'm not mistaken. It says so right here, Khonshu, but wild Khonshu languages. So, anyways, there was an arc. It sold really well, and it was a good spike for the Avengers title. So his return. Plus, we know that Kevin Feige is using him for either a TV show or a movie. I don't remember which one, but we do know the Moon Knight is coming to the MCU, and like everything else, whenever they're printing books, this is material for future movies and TV shows.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, the everything working with the MCU is huge right now. I mean, the MCU has been going on for 10 years now. And everything has been a success for them. Moon Knight, now the speculations have ended. They're making something for the MCU. They're starting casting. So yeah, I mean, a new series, a popular character, coming back to the either the small screen or the big screen. I mean, with the Romita Jr. cover, it has everything to make a big splash on the market.
They did hire somebody to play Mark Spector. It's what's his name?
Oscar Isaac.
Oh, it's Oscar Isaac, right? So Oscar Isaac of the famous Oscar Isaac from the latest Star Wars trilogy. But he's done a lot of other movies. he was very good in.
Yeah.
But yeah, Oscar Isaac. I had someone tell me he watched him do his training video for the Moon Knight role, and then this person told me I didn't believe it, and then I saw him do the training. Now I believe he's Moon Knight. And he said the exact same thing to me when we were discussing John Wick back in the day. And he's like, this Keanu Reeves is John Wick after seeing that training. And so when he told me the exact same words for Oscar Isaac on being Moon Knight, like, whoa, okay, then this will definitely go somewhere. And hopefully this book, this new series, this #1 will as well. Not every Marvel new series goes to the moon. The last one that really went straight for the moon is Immortal Hulk. I'm hoping this new Moon Knight series does so as well. So your next book, sir, is...
For my next book, I'm going to go with a little bit of not a gamble because I'm pretty sure it's going to do well, but a book that I believe will be underordered for many reasons. I'm going to go with Mom, Mother of Madness. Now, Mom, Mother of Madness, the specific thing to remember, it's co-written by Emilia Clarke. Now, why does that sound familiar to you? Because she's Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones, Mother of Dragons. So you see the word on play they did with Mother of Madness, Mother of Dragons. Obviously, she's leveraging her fame from the TV shows and the sometimes horrible movies she does to to make a comic book out of it. But Terminator Genesis. But yeah, and as did Keanu Reeves with Berserker, we saw Berserker just explode. But it was a lot of there was a hype train behind it. I mean, everybody was behind Keanu Reeves because of that whole cyberpunk thing with "you're breathtaking," "no, I love you," and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That we saw blow up over the internet. This obviously is somebody that is leveraging her fame just to see what can happen. She has a story to tell. I truly believe this is going to be an underordered book because I don't know, it's a hunch.
Yeah.
Just call it a hunch, and I'm just picking up a bunch of books from that just
knowing
because
what Image does. They often go to new printings really quickly.
Yeah.
This will be much like Berserkers on multiple prints. This still will be multiple prints for this, and so missing on that first print is a mistake.
Yeah, I mean if you read in the previous book what it is about, it's just a mom having a job, being a superhero. Just so you know, I think a lot of people will be able to connect with that sort of character, and the potential for something really big is there.
And just like Keanu Reeves is starring in all Berserker things, he's doing an animated series and he's doing a movie out of it. Emilia Clarke, if this does well, she's gonna option it and she will star in an own movie called for Mother of Madness.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, it's her story. I mean, she's telling it. So yeah, if it is optioned at some point in the future, I can see her playing the main character and just blowing it up and just making it her own. And maybe, who knows? Maybe there's a sequel. Maybe there's maybe in 10 years from now it's three movies. It's a spin-off series on whichever medium. So yeah, I mean the everything's there just to have a book, once in a year book that you don't want to be like 3 years from now going, shit, I missed it out because I didn't think about it. It's the long game with comic books. Speculating a lot of times it's the long game. You're going for that 2, that 3, that 5 year span. You see the big comic books right now. That's what they are. They're books that have been out for X number of years. So yeah,
there's a potential for a quick buck, and there's a potential for a long-term hold.
Exactly, and this for me is a long-term hold.
Okay, that's great. So my last pick, is the second book in a series. Last year, yes, we had a popular book called Phantom Starkiller. So the follow-up is Count Draco Knucklebuster. And Phantom Starkiller was also a super under-ordered book, and it went to multiple printings. The first and second print went very high in value, and the third printing style sells for about cover price, but most people picked it up at that point. But Count Draco Knucklebuster, I believe a lot of people won't make the link that it's the continuation of that first book. Also, Black Caravan book have been doing very well, and most of their books they've added secret variants, limited print runs. That Phantom Starkiller had a secret variant that was limited to 400 copies, which was their VHS covers. So this is an 80s style movie themed. I'm ordering a lot, but my perception is that even if I ordered an absurd amount of money for copies for an independent title, like 100 copies for our store, that would be still like it wouldn't be a drop in the bucket so much that like it'd actually be a very large order for the title. There definitely going to be stores out there who will be ordering it, but this print run will be like less than 5,000, 6,000 units at most, and there will be more than 6,000 people looking to pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've seen with other smaller publishers, like if you think about Nottingham, which was really under-ordered by everybody, and the book just, it overnight picked up, like, it went from a $5 book to a $20 book, and right now, after 3 months or 4 months, it's a $50 to $80 book, depending on condition. So, I mean, that's, if you were looking to make a quick buck, turn around, you spend $5 on a book, and then you sell it, 4 months later for $80. That's what you're looking to do, every time. So yeah, Count Draco Knucklebuster, like we've seen that type of book. Phantom Starkiller, it's the same thing. The number ones are selling for a lot more than what you bought them for. So yeah, potential is there, and the series is proven popular. So I can't see this being a bad pick.
Okay, and so what's your final pick, sir?
Final pick, something that I don't know. I mean, you're looking for number ones. You're looking for series that might go somewhere, might not go somewhere. Sinister War, starring all the villains from the Sinister Six from Spider-Man. I mean, obviously, everybody is going to be known in there. Like, I mean, everybody knows who the Sinister Six is, but it's right now it's Doc Ock versus Vulture. Each has their own pool of supervillains, and who do they hate the most? Spider-Man. So yeah, Sinister War. Just I'm picking it up just to see where it goes. Obviously, it's a short run. I think it's a 4-issue miniseries. So if they're what?
2 per month.
2 per month. So yeah, 2 months. 2 per month. 1 and 2 first month, and then 3 and 4 last month. The second month. And I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be picking up number 1, and I'm going to check for next month. Maybe see if in number 3 or 4, one of these supervillains team brings out like a new major arch enemy. That might be something worth checking out. But obviously, the number ones are really interesting.
We do know that there was. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I have seen something from Sony discussing the Sinister Six. So a Sinister War would something that they could do down the line, anyways. From Sony and Disney. But then this may be a one of their side projects, much like Venom is. So Sinister War could lead to a future event, just like Spider-Verse ended up being from an event, a comic book, to a movie that was highly successful for Sony. Sinister War could end up being the basis for a future multiple Sinister Six series of movies.
Yeah, exactly. Because we know they're doing a Morbius movie with Jared Leto, whatever you want to call him. So yeah, we know that that's happening. We know that Venom's happening, and we know that Sony wants to do a Spider-Verse of their own. So if they decide to make a movie about other villains, obviously the spider villains from the Sinister Six are a big pick on their they're high on the list.
All right. So that's it for us. Again, I want to show you guys how to be able to subscribe to these titles if you want to special order specific books. So say you want to pick up the main cover, you could just subscribe to it in your Managed Comics account. Otherwise, if you say wanted the Bagley wraparound cover, which is this one, a lot of people have specifically asked me for the wraparound cover, as they may prefer it over the main Brian Hitch cover, which is this one. So if you want to special order this one before Saturday, so by Saturday 5 p.m. with the final summary that I get from Managed Comics, that'll be the time they can pick it for me to add them to your accounts. So you just take the diamond code here, or you could take the lunar code that's available just here instead for a lunar book, and then you go into your Managed Comics account. So this is the one for the store. So it's again managedcomics.com/BD-Cosmos. Sorry, not dash, but yeah, dash. All right. And then there's a special section here, place special orders. So all you have to do is just click on this wonderful button. You can either type in the code and search, and then if it's a book that was added in the monthly order, then Managed Comics added it to the database. If it is a new to order book, a brand new cover or a brand new variant of an existing book that was not added in the initial order, so the catalog that we have here on Previous World, this section right here, this catalog, anything that was added afterwards, Managed Comics will not have it. In that case, if you want to pick it up, a special order that hasn't been added to Managed Comics, I'll show you how. So when you first added this diamond code or title, you can just then click order item, and it's added to your subscriptions. And then, but if you want to add something else, so say you want to add, there's actually a mom #1, but there's a B cover. There's a Jen Bartel. So you can just type this in, Mother of Madness. But it won't come up to anything. So you can request custom item instead, and then we'll get a notification on our end, and we can match that with what is available here. So Mother of Madness #1, and they added this B cover from Jen Bartel, and we can find the code here, and we'll match it. While it doesn't exist in Managed Comics, we will create it in the system for a special order for you with the correct release date. So that's it. PF, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And hopefully you guys will place some orders for some books that at least you will be interested to spec on. Or these are different books that are like, oh, you know what? I'll order #1 before subscribing to the title and to see if I work out by the time I get it and I get a couple of days in. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll see each other next month for the June solicitations for August releases. Thank you so much, and have yourself a wonderful day.